Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, today's topic, you ladies are going to be pretty interested in this, and this is again for Mental Health Awareness Month here in May of 2024. But also, there are just common things that can induce temporary mental illness, and two of them today. What I'm going to talk about. First one I'm going to talk about is postpartum disorder. And then after that, we're going to move to menopause. Some of you ladies may be experiencing menopause right now, and I'm going to talk about it from a male's perspective, where my previous wife, my second wife, she was 10 years older than me. So she, while I was in my 40s, she was going through menopause, and so that was quite an experience. But we're going to get back to postpartum disorder and what that's about. And not all of you ladies who may give birth to child may experience this. Some do. Statistically, 1 in 8 women will experience postpartum disorder, PPD. That's a pretty high number if you think about it, and it's not due to anything mentally. It's your hormones. It's hormonal changes that occur. So postpartum disorder is commonly referred to as the baby blues. Usually clears without any treatment in most women, but can become more intense, and you need to seek treatment. Postpartum disorder is one of the most underdiagnosed and undertreated disorders for women out there, period, bar none. And it can affect and happen to any adult woman, regardless of age, regardless of your age, ethnicity, marital status, or even financial income status. So none of those have any bearing. And I can certainly say when I met my second wife, she was already had her son, and he was 2 years old. So I was well past any possible chance that she may have PPD, and I wouldn't have experienced it at all. But again, it's due to hormonal changes during pregnancy, and not all women will get PPD. But on those that have very, very severe PPD, we've seen in the news where they've either harmed themselves or even harmed their children. We've seen that over the years, and there's been some pretty severe cases of that. So, but anyway, here's some of the symptoms. Symptoms include persistent sadness, anxiousness, empty mood. I mean, your mood is just irritability. Oh boy, do I know about that one. And feelings of guilt, worthlessness, hopelessness, or helplessness. And so there's a lot of those that also, if you remember, happen and occur when you become homeless. So a lot of these can attach themselves and become long-term. So and then also what you would experience loss of interest or pleasure in any hobbies or interests that you have. So boating, fishing, hiking, things like that, you lose interest in, and you just don't have any energy for it. So those are signs of trouble, and that you should seek out help. Then also after the birth, trouble bonding or forming an emotional attachment to the new baby. That we've seen, and we hear about that from some women, that they just couldn't attach themselves, become emotionally attached to that new child. And so anyway, and then some of the other things, persistent doubts about ability to care for the baby, and that's normal for all the new parents. We always worry, am I good enough? Do I have the skills to take care of this new life? And that's why having your parents and involving people with experience in your life makes a difference. Thoughts of death, suicide, or harming oneself or the baby is possible with PPD. And we've seen examples of that where the mother drowned the baby in the bathtub decades ago, and so that was pretty sad. Also, fatigue, abnormal decrease in energy, kind of like COVID almost, because you get a lot of fatigue with COVID and abnormal decrease in energy, because I certainly had experienced that during COVID. Feelings of restlessness, having trouble sitting still, difficulty concentrating, remembering, or even making decisions. And we can get into that with the menopause, because that was something that just absolutely paralyzed my second wife during her menopause, that she couldn't concentrate. She had a hard time remembering things for a short period of time, and she couldn't make decisions to save her life. I had to make all the decisions for about a 6-month period. Difficulty sleeping, abnormal appetite, weight changes. So there are a lot of things that occur. Let's see, and so aches, pains, headaches, cramps, digestive problems that don't seem to have a cause, but fails, or even when you do take some medication, failure to ease that ailment. So these are all things that are associated with postpartum disorder. If you're thinking of harming yourself, please seek help. Call the confidential National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It's open all the time, 24/7. Real easy to dial at 988. Call 988 if you feel that you're in danger right now. Call 911 and get help. So moving right along, moving on to menopause. Like I said, my second wife, she was older than myself. She went into menopause in her late 40s, nearing 50. And menopause typically happens to women, according to the Mayo Clinic, at average of 51 years of age, but can occur to women, as I've heard, as early as 38, not that long ago. So, but typically occurs in the 40s and into the 50s. My ex-wife, it started occurring in 1998. How do I know? Because that was when I bought one of my boats, August of 1998, because there was a lot of things going on with my wife at the time. We were very busy professionals, and things started happening, and she knew it was the change of life, because she started getting the hot flashes, and her friends, a lot of her friends are around the same age, and they would compare what they call power surges. That's the the name that the ladies gave it to. Oops, I'm having a power surge, and then they have to go outside or get some a breeze on them, drink something cool, things like that. So I experienced that with my ex-wife, and also as it progressed, she started talking to her doctor early, but then the doctor wasn't a specialist. And so what you need to do, and we had Kaiser Medical at that time, and so she had to seek out a specialist for menopause in the system. And it took a while. It doesn't happen. And one of the things that I can truly say is, if you're not getting the kind of results that you want, that you anticipate that you need from the doctor you're seeing, ask for a second doctor, because it took us three doctors in the system at Kaiser to finally come across a doctor who understood what was going on and actually rebalance her hormones, because she was placed on hormone replacement, which for some women can be dangerous because it can cause cervical cancer. But at her age, it wasn't much of a concern. And one of the things that can also happen is some women, they self-sterilize, and a lot of you ladies tie your tubes, and that's one of the safest ways to avoid early menopause, because by removing both your ovaries, you can trigger early menopause to right after the surgery, and that can bring on some hormonal changes immediately that may need to be addressed. But one of the interesting things, when my wife was going through the change of life, it was her Asian friends who had a lot of soy in their diets that had far less bad negative results. And the transition was much smoother for them without so much of the hot flashes and the mental things that were going on, because literally in the second year, when she had gotten really bad with her depression, and she would literally come home crying, and she had no idea why she was crying. She'd come through the door, I'm cooking dinner, and I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Nothing." And it's like, okay, why are you crying? "I don't know." And so that was one of the reasons why I got a boat, so that on the weekends when I'm stuck at home and she's starting to get a little crazy on me, I go down to the boat or the marina, go out on the bay, do some fishing, come back home, hopefully to my wife in a better mental state of mind, which wasn't often. And she actually ended up taking an emergency medical leave of 6 months to deal with her menopause. And it was that time when we were changing and switching doctors at Kaiser, and trying different treatments. And we finally got one. It was pretty close to the 2.5-year mark when we got to the third doctor. And that third doctor was the game changer, and he understood what was going on. Also, new medications had come onto the market, and so it made a world of difference. It really balanced my wife out. In fact, she was able to regain her concentration, her focus, and go back to work. And her work is very detail oriented, so her focus had to be 100% sharp to do the work that she did, especially this was for life sciences. She was the special representative to the FDA for these new drugs that they're trying to introduce into the market. So she was the one responsible for all the paperwork and dealing with the FDA for the drug manufacturer. But she finally got back to normal, so to speak. It was about the third year, and from that point on, she was fine. And it was tapering her off from those medications so that she didn't stay on them, because some of those medications had a slight chance of causing other cancers. And so you have to be aware of those medications that for hormones, and it's a real tricky. Hormones can make you or break you mentally, and I literally watched a super intelligent woman be broken by menopause. Literally, she was broken by menopause. She couldn't think, she couldn't function, she couldn't make decisions, and so it can be very debilitating. And then for some women, it may not be an issue at all, and you transition in life very easily. So, but it is something to be aware of. And it is a temporary mental disorder. But if left untreated or improperly diagnosed, it can fester into something really dangerous, and something we don't want to see. So thanks for joining me today. Hope that helps you ladies out, and hopefully it helps some of you men out. You maybe want to go out and get a boat or something, and when they get really mad, the ladies, because you will, don't say you won't, because you will, because I experienced it, and she was mad at me for no reason. She said, and I would ask, why are you mad at me? Why are you screaming at me? I don't know. So, if you haven't been through menopause yet, ladies, hopefully it goes, you transition very easily and without too much difficulty. Start adding some soy into your life, into your diet. Soy sauces instead of salts, soybean, pinto beans, things like that into your life. Hummus made a big difference. That was chickpea. So these are foods that can make a difference and help alleviate the symptoms of postpartum disorder or depression, and also menopause. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.